But as long as you can hear me well and it's picking up good, I guess that's all that matters, right?
Oh yeah, that's really the whole equation here. That is the slope formula. That's y equals mx plus b. Like that's the building blocks of science right here.
Wow, you're getting really technical on me here.
I got my PhD in physics.
This is fucking weird, man. Like,
Uh oh.
this is all just.
Now you're upside down. Welcome on into the Squires station. I'm your host, Davey Squires. This week, we got Area 67 specialist, founder, and legend, Magic Mike Vegas.
Ooh, Magic Mike Vegas. Wow, I feel like I need to be dancing in Las Vegas somewhere.
You gotta get the Elvis impression going for the Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail on that one.
Oh fuck! How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, how's the snow up there? Pretty good.
It actually all melted. Like it's been like 40 degrees for the past week, so it's just melted.
Oh, you bastards!
But it was really cold earlier. It was like negative 50 up here like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw it when you posted that. I was like, I'm happy I'm here.
Like I'm in the fucking Arctic Circle up here. Like, what the fuck? We got the snow dogs and fucking sleigh on into work. It's fucking ridiculous.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a good time.
I'm surprised my car started.
But you got the Subaru, you know.
That's Subaru.
They're never going to fail you.
No, that thing's going to live on for a million miles, maybe, probably. A million miles.
At least. It's going to live longer than you, Davey.
It probably will. And that's not any sort of achievement.
No, not really.
Fuck, what have you been up to? What have you been up to, Mike?
You know, just the same old stuff, you know, doing some music stuff here and there. A little more there than here. Yeah, but no, that's just pretty much doing the same stuff as before. Recording, working on some NFT stuff. You know, kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know.
Yeah. Well, how's that NFT stuff work? I'm always interested in that stuff. Like, how's that stuff work?
I don't know. It's a crazy field.
All that build up, and it was just
all that build up for such a. Yeah, that's what my wife said. All that build up for that. Wow.
Your wife is gonna watch this.
She's gonna be like, "Yes, I agree, 100."
Oh my
100
God.
in the comments.
Oh
no,
my
we've
God.
been I've been learning coding lately, so I've been taking some classes on Udemy, and I guess that's how you would pronounce it, Udemy.
Yeah.
Udemy. Yeah. Anyways, taking some coding classes that are specifically geared towards NFTs and stuff like that. So creating a marketplace, Nifty Beats marketplace, where it's going to be streaming and NFT marketplace where you can buy and sell them.
Oh yeah. What? So like, is that like?
What is it?
Is like, how? So how does the marketplace work?
It's kind of like an eBay. So you can buy them and sell them for a specific price, or you can auction and create bids on them.
Okay.
And that's generally how most of them sell, are through auctions. That's why they sell these exorbitant prices.
Yeah. It's huge. It's tremendous.
Tremendous. Tremendous. Mm.
So how's the studio been? Like, how's business been for you guys?
It's it's a pandemic, and
Yeah.
that's still kind of affecting us a lot. Yeah. Business is slow. I'm going to be honest. Here. I'm a man of honesty. I'm not here to, lie to anybody and pull some false strings. And no, it's been a little slow lately. The past few months, it's just not been the same as it's been the past few years that I've known you, and you've seen me at the other studio and at this new location. I think the pandemic and lack of people working is really we're starting to feel it for sure. But we're still here. We're still doing our thing. We're still alive. We're still making music. We're just trying to focus our attention in other areas to occupy that time and try to fill that with something profitable. That's where the NFT marketplace came in. Some other things that we've been doing. We've been doing reaction videos and just trying to build up the YouTube space and the online presence and stuff like that to help with that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Since we have the time to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like a lot of studios are kind of feeling the same thing, because if that money's not going through the transactions, like if the money's not flowing in the economy, like it's just like stagnant. Like nobody's going to spend any money on anything, and like for the arts,
right.
I feel like that's the most difficult thing, because like nobody thinks of the arts as essential,
Right. Yeah, it's not an essential part of most people's budgets, and I understand that. People got to eat and fill their cars with gas and pay their bills and stuff like that. And the way, inflation has been topping out lately, and prices of food have been going up, and we feel it. Even in the fast food lines out here, like we were at Taco Bell the other day, for example, right up the street, University of Akron, right down the street, right?
Yeah.
5:20 in the evening, we pull up. And as we pull up to the drive-thru, they tell us that they're closed.
Damn.
For the day. So, there's not a lot of people out there working. And the ones that are out there, they're short-staffed, so a lot of them don't stay open as long. These places aren't staying open as long. They don't have the staff. And all it takes is one person to get sick.
Yeah.
And then you're shut down for a minute. And that kind of happened during the Christmas break. I was exposed, and then, we all wanted to go get tested to make sure that we were all okay, but we didn't get our test results back until 8 days after Christmas, pretty much. So,
damn,
that didn't help.
Yeah, it took that long.
Yeah, it took that long. It was a 5 to 7 day turnaround.
Huh.
So I got it my test done the Thursday before Christmas. And didn't get the test results back until New Year's Eve.
Huh. That's crazy. What the heck?
So yeah, I mean that. I think that's kind of explains a little bit why we're seeing a little bit of traffic decline. But people are still calling. It's just not like they were.
Yeah. You think there's going to be I don't know. I feel like with the stimulus money we got, I feel like there was some sort of increase. Do you think?
Yeah, there was for sure.
I feel like I don't know. It kind of increased and then just went back down. I feel like shows are starting to kind of get canceled now for the most part.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely starting to reintroduce some of the things that they were doing, before we shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're starting to see it trend that way a little bit. But out here it's been pretty good. I mean, Clyde has been busy. Everybody's still staying busy out here. So the venues are still doing their thing, but the big venues are having. I think they're having a little bit of a decline because you have to have a COVID test to go to a lot of the Beachland or the Grog Shop or the Agora, Like you have to have a COVID test in order to go see a show and stuff like that. And when there are not a lot of tests out there, you don't get the results back in the time frame that you hope to get them back in, and that all plays into it. It really does.
Yeah. Well, for those who do not know, Mike was on the show about a year ago. I think
about a year ago.
I think so. And so for the uninitiated, what do you like? How did you get into production and just music studio stuff in general?
Well, I started off like most of us do. I was in a band. I played guitar in a band, and I lived in Texas at the time. I lived in the Dallas area, and in a band, and like most bands, you want to record a song or an album or a record, and you want to send a demo out for a competition or to get signed to a label or something like that. And that was kind of what happened. I think we were trying to enter a contest, and we needed a demo, so we needed to figure out a way to record. I was the only one who had a computer and recording software on my computer, and this was like 1996 or something like that.
Yeah,
which is really weird, but I had Cakewalk, I think is what it was.
Dude, that's when I was born.
When Cakewalk was out?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this a minute, Davey. I know a lot of your audiences, they probably think I'm in my early 20s, late teens, but I'm an old guy.
Use that the aging cream.
I use a lot of aging cream. Cases of it. But yeah, that's kind of how that's kind of how it led into it. We recorded that first demo, and then we wanted to record a record, and I just got the itch, and then I just wanted to learn as much about it as possible. And over the years, I picked up a little bit here and there, and I didn't take it too seriously until around 1999 when I decided to go take do an apprenticeship type of thing with studios and go that route and take it more seriously and learn as much as I could. So that's kind of how it led into it.
Heck yeah. Wait. wait. That was my reaction. Heck yeah, man. That's great. Wow. 2 thumbs up from me, dude. I was gonna ask, what's the best purchase you've ever made for a studio?
Computer.
Like
without the computer, none of the other stuff would matter.
Amen, brother.
I mean, yeah, microphone and all that kind of stuff is great, but if I don't have anything that's going to actually record it, unless I had tape or something like that.
Yeah.
My first was a Tascam 4-track.
Yeah.
So I didn't even need a computer. So at the time, I didn't need the computer. So that was probably my best purchase for a studio, the 4-track. That allowed me to get started and get into it.
So, like, what do you recommend for, like, just, like, in terms of, like, the bare bones music recording studio setup? Like, what do you recommend?
What would I recommend?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'd recommend whatever you could afford. You don't have to break the bank. No, seriously. I mean that in all seriousness. Whatever you can afford. It doesn't have to be a lot. $300 can get you set up with a nice recording system to get started and make extremely good quality music for little to nothing, like a little Focusrite 2i2, Audio Technica 2035 microphone.
Yeah.
set of Audio-Technica headphones, and some software. I mean, whatever software, GarageBand, or Studio One or Pro Tools or whatever software that you feel comfortable with, and that alone is going to be better than any recording gear that we had 20 years ago for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So.
Hell yeah.
I think a lot of people getting into this stuff get caught up in the gear and the prices, and I've got to have this, I've got to have that because it has that. And at the end of the day, you really don't, because the cheapest stuff that we have today is much better than anything we had even 10 years ago. So,
amen.
Just get good with what you have, and if you can get good at what you have, everything else is just icing on the cake.
Is there a best DAW though? I don't think there's I think it's whatever DAW you're good in. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, whatever one that you're most comfortable in. I look at it like living in certain areas, neighborhoods. Whatever area you're comfortable in is where you're going to move to, and you feel comfortable, to access to food and stuff like that. It's the same kind of concept with recording software. Whatever is the most comfortable, ease of use, you're familiar with it, you can move around quickly. For me, I use Studio One. I come from a Pro Tools background, so Studio One was a pretty good natural step for me. I actually went from Logic to Studio One, Pro Tools, Logic to Studio One. I was looking for something that didn't tax the computer as much as some of the other programs do.
Yeah.
And when I was searching that out, Studio One was a relatively unknown or not as well known as the others like Logic and Pro Tools and Ableton, Reason, stuff like that. But the workflow, the space, everything was very similar to Logic and Pro Tools. So I was very comfortable in it immediately. And then it was easy to find things. So, it doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you're good in. Some people are really good at Fruity Loops, FL Studio. I look at it and I don't understand where to even begin. Or Ableton. Yeah. I have a hard time wrapping my head around just the environment when I open it up. So I'd be there for hours just trying to figure it out, and that's not going to help me out in the long run. So if I need to get moving and productive, I'm just learning it, and that's one thing. So, yeah, there's really no best DAW. It's just whatever is kind of like a car, whatever fits you best.
And then there's that one guy.
You're Subi.
And then there's that one guy who's just really good at Reaper. It's just
there is that guy. Yeah.
How do you deal with this interface? I took one look at Reaper and I was like, nah, I'm gonna get Logic. No.
Yeah, that's more logical step for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I've tried Reaper. I just didn't understand it.
I heard Area 67 just got a TikTok.
Oh yeah. We have TikTok. Yeah, we have TikTok. I've done a few TikTokies. I TikToked a few times.
You TikToked a few times?
I've TikToked a few times, yeah. Look forward to me talking some more.
Oh my!
I was trying really. I've been thinking about how I want to TikTok lately, because this is a big deal, right? TikToking is a big deal.
Yeah.
So you really got to think this thing out. You can't just willy-nilly go on TikTok and think it's going to be all good. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a plan. I don't have a plan.
Just go in there. Just wing it. Just wing it. It's fine.
I think I'm going to wing it in my car. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to TikTok from my car.
That sounds
I don't know
dirty.
why. It does. And I think people are going to like that. They're going to be attracted to me talking in my car.
It's ticking the talk in your car with Magic Mike.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous. It's living on the edge. You're driving and talking and the whole, giving some advice, giving some knowledge, giving some failures, crying a little bit here and there, But it's got to be thought out. Yeah.
There's gonna be laughs, cries, laughs.
It's gonna be every cries.
Laughs.
I thought about maybe being the angry TikToker.
Oh no!
Every time I go on, I'm just really mad.
Be the Karen.
Yeah.
The Karen TikToker.
I'll be a Karen TikToker. It's like, why can't I have my McDonald's now?
Where's your manager?
I need your manager, please.
Did Mikey hear that? He's probably like, what's going on?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think he did. He's actually recording also right now, so I'm just interjecting myself into his podcast.
Are we doing 2 podcasts at once?
Yeah. I'm splitting myself into 2.
Oh my
right now.
God, this is podcastception. We're getting too much done right now.
Yeah, this is history right now. We're podcasting in the metaverse.
Where's Guinness?
This is a metacast.
Where's the world record? We need the book. We need a book of the Guinness. We need the world record book to come. This is history. This is Jeff
Bezos. History right now. Yes. Yeah. This is Jeff Bezos kind of stuff right here. Yeah.
Next level shit going on at Area 67.
I propose for our next interview that we do it in a virtual reality space.
Oh fuck! I know Mikey has been doing those streams with the VR.
You'll have to excuse me. That's why I was late today. I was very tardy today for Davey's podcast, and it's because I was watching our friend Corey box on the Oculus.
Oh my God!
So I kind of got caught up, and then he was wore out after 3 rounds. And,
oh my God!
Yeah,
like Mike Tyson over there, like just.
Yeah. But if you had an Oculus and then I had an Oculus, then we can just put on our headset and then we can just meet in a virtual room and sit down across from each other and be like, "Hey,
that'd be next level
what's happening?"
Just have like the
Give
studio. Just have the studio as the background.
Yeah, it'd be great. No, I like your room better. Let's have your room as the background.
The weed.
You got better artwork better than I do.
You got the wood paneling though. You got the nice je ne sais quoi of the wood paneling. Oui.
Oui. But you have the cannabis vibe going on in your studio, and that's much more where I'm at right now. Ooh.
It just broke my liver.
Wow.
I'm chopped liver.
Crazy. That's insane. Did you heard about what happened to Corey? You know
what
Corey,
happened?
right? Remember Corey?
Yeah.
You know Corey.
Yeah.
Corey's roommate stabbed him multiple times and left him for dead.
Where?
Yeah, he was at their house. They got drunk, got into a fist fight, and then his roommate got beat up by Corey, and then his roommate ran into the house, grabbed a knife, and came out and started stabbing him in the middle of the yard, and thought he had killed him and left him for dead.
Oh my God!
Literally, he said when the knife went through his ribs, he could hear it, and then when he took a breath, he could hear his blood gurgling. That's what reminded me when you took the ball.
Oh my God! That is like that's crazy.
You
like
see the scar on his chest. It goes from like here all the way down to here.
How many times?
It's about a foot.
How many times was he
Probably
stabbed?
about 10 to 15 times.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What the?
But
fuck?
he's back. Yeah. Crazy.
That's fucking crazy. What? Like, I want to know the backstory. Like, what was the argument? Like,
Well, they've been drinking, so that didn't help. And then his roommate Garrett said something about like "f you" and I'll "f your girlfriend."
mm,
So then Corey was like, "Okay," and he started beating him up. And then ego got in the way, and you got your ass whooped, which you probably should have.
Yeah.
and then his ego was busted, and he went and grabbed a knife and went after him.
God damn. Fuck.
Now he's looking at prison time and all that stuff. So what was crazy is when I wanted to go visit Corey because he was at Suma Healthcare right across from the studio, right?
Yeah.
Right across the bridge. He was there. We couldn't see him because his whole floor was on lockdown. I had to have a secret passcode in order just to call him and get through to his room. They kept telling me that he wasn't even there. They didn't know who a Corey Patterson was because the cops that locked it down, they were afraid that Garrett was going to come and kill him when he found out he was still alive.
Oh my god. Wow. Fuck, man, that's like, that's cinema. Like, that's straight out of a movie.
Yeah, Corey should have been dead. He's lucky that his neighbor saw him in the yard and called the ambulance because he woke up at the hospital. He didn't know. He thought he was dying.
Does he remember what the argument?
Yeah, he remembers. Yeah, he remembers everything. He said he didn't even feel getting stabbed until it broke his ribs and went into his lung. But he'd been stabbed multiple times. He got stabbed in the back. Yeah, like.
So is he like?
Missed heart.
Is there any permanent damage?
No.
Wow.
He was lucky.
Holy shit.
He was lucky.
Dude, like
he's like.
He if he's not dead, he's like stabbing like that close to the fucking spine, like. That's crazy.
He came close to his heart and he came close to his spine, and he ruptured his lung.
Wow. Shit.
But all that's healed up now. He's all healed up.
That's fucking
crazy.
Nuts. What the?
But he stopped drinking. Corey hasn't drank since then. It's only been 3 months. This happened 3 months ago.
So they're still living.
And he's
together?
already out. No.
Oh, okay.
No. That'd be bad living arrangement.
That's what they do in Russia, I think. Soviet Russia. Soviet Russia. I forget what I was gonna ask. Area 67 Studios. What's on the docket for this year? Do you guys have anything planned?
What's on the docket? Yeah, we do. Actually, we teamed up with Lance Waste from Darling Waste, the band Darling Waste, and Heart Riot Agency.
Yeah.
You remember him? Well, he was in a band called Darling Waste back in a while back, and they reunited recently and have been signed to a record deal. And he's going to be putting on live performances here once a month.
Nice.
So we have a live performance beginning March 26th. Will be our first one. It's going to be Darling Waste doing an acoustic performance. Master Puff.
Oh,
Colin
yeah.
Braves. He's opening.
Oh.
Colin's opening. And Bobby, I don't remember if you remember Bobby, one of my clients. His band this summer is going to be opening for them also.
Okay. What's his band name?
So yeah, this summer.
Oh, this summer. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Not sure. I'd have to reach back to the depths of my mind.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that going on. Trying to do some more live performances and stuff like that, and utilize the space a little better than we have been this past year. We tested it out this past year, and we've got a lot more podcasters coming in now. Thanks to you, Davey. Appreciate you helping us start that side of Area 67, the podcast stuff.
Arigato,
it's
sensei.
been very successful. I've got 3 podcasters right now, 4 podcasters that we host. 4 podcasters.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Different shows. So yeah, it's we're starting to do a lot more of that, and we've been getting into preparing artists for outside opportunities like sync placements, sync licensing.
Oh, okay.
So just getting everybody hit the copyrights, registering their songs with the pros, BMI, ASCAP, Sound Exchange. That way they're collecting on the money that they should be collecting on, because there's a lot of artists that don't do that at all.
Yeah.
And they're missing out on a big amount of music. We're really looking at it differently than we have been in the past. Because most of us here are artists in some form or fashion, right? So we look at making music from an artist perspective.
Sorry, could you say that again? My apologies. I couldn't hear what you said.
What the fuck?
Nobody was talking to you, first of all.
What a fucking bitch. What the fuck?
Yeah. But we're just looking at music a little bit differently. I recently did a podcast with a multi-platinum producer friend of mine, Domingo Padilla, and he was giving us some insight as to beat making and how that whole process works, because he was one of the first people to sell beats online. And he's like responsible for BeatStars essentially coming to an existence, and a whole bunch of other sites and stuff like that. But one thing he was breaking down to us, and I think this is really important for all musicians to understand, especially for somebody like you, who is an instrumentalist and you make your own music. You don't like use loops and other people's beats. You know what I'm saying? So this applies to everybody, but beat makers in general who are using like samples from, say, Splice. They're royalty-free loops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, say Davey puts out a sample pack of Davey's loops, right? And I'm the first person to download a loop that you made of a melody that I like, and then I create a song based on that melody, right?
Yeah.
And then I copyright my song and I publish it to iTunes and all that stuff, right? Well, I'm the first person to use that loop. Now that loop is no longer a royalty-free loop, in the sense that they can really go use that loop and make their own song, because what's going to happen is they're going to get a copyright claim for a sample. That loop is now a sample in their song. So now you got to get sample clearance to use that loop. So what happens is, a lot of people are out there using these beats and stuff, and they're not the first one to use it. They're not the first one to copyright it. So the first person to do it is the one monetizing from everybody else using that loop or that beat or whatever it is. If you're a beat maker, the best thing for you to do is copyright your beats first, distribute them just like you would do any song to iTunes as instrumentals and stuff like that. Spotify, they're already out there. So you're the first to publish your beat. Now, anybody can use those for free, but if anybody gets 1 million views on YouTube and monetizes off of it, they're not going to be able to monetize off of it. They're going to get a copyright claim for the music, and all that monetization goes directly to the beat maker. Yeah. And that's what artists aren't realizing, is that, like you, who makes plenty of music, you could be taking your music before you add your lyrics to it and distribute it as instrumentals, and then put it on YouTube as a beat, then go ahead and release your song as with your lyrics on it. And then anybody who uses that beat, you're going to be monetizing off of it. It's like a machine once it gets started. And to give you an example, Holy Rollers, the song that Aaron did a couple years ago, right? He used a loop from Splice. I went back and found it. But what happened was BeatStars has a new ID system. So you can pay $10 per song per month and have them track that song.
Mm-hmm.
We track that song based upon the time that he published it and afterwards. So far, it's found 912 people have used that song on SoundCloud, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. It shows you everywhere. It shows you the song. It shows you where in the song, at what point, how much of it was used, how many views that they got. And it occurred to me, we're missing out on a lot of money.
Well,
because we're not really approaching it in a way that we could monetize our music for what it is. We look at it as from an artist standpoint. We want people to like our music, like what we've created, and buy that, and we make money off of that. But really, the people who are making money are the ones who are doing it like this. And what also happens is once you've done this and you set yourself up like this, now you're able to monetize off of sync placements because you've got an instrumental that is out there that's getting exposed, and now you can potentially pitch that to somewhere to get on a TV commercial or a movie or something like that, and you've already got it copywritten, you've already got your bases covered, so the likelihood is that you'll get accepted more than you won't get accepted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because most artists don't do any of that stuff. They just put their music out there. So we're trying to come at this a little bit differently this year with the artists, do some more education, do some workshops and stuff like that, so that they're not missing out. I mean, it's great being an artist, and we want everybody to like our music and the art that we created with our voice on it. A lot of times that doesn't work for everybody. Sometimes they just want our music as background music, or they want to write to our music and they don't need our voices on it. And that's where people are making the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And remixes, too. I've had people take my piano stuff and remix it. And I've gotten monetization from that, and it's like because I just all I gotta do is register it, and it's totally under that name, and then they can register it and use it with a remix, and
because what people don't realize that these PROs, BMI and ASCAP Sound Exchange, they're collecting royalties for this music, and it's just sitting there.
Oh yeah,
and so the owner of those royalties comes and claims it. And if you don't ever come and claim it, it's just sitting there. You don't even realize that you got money.
Oh yeah.
So we can really change the music industry if artists really start approaching it that way. Like if you're putting out an album, it would only benefit you to go through each song, find the loops, melodies of each song that would be a good loop, pull those out and start creating sample packs. One shot is the snare drum that you had on your record, one shot of the kick, one shot of a hi-hat, all that people are buying.
And hell, even
so
instrumentals.
Why not just even the instrumentals.
It's like just take off the vocal line. Yeah, it's like sometimes that's all you need, because I work in radio and we use a lot of beds and stuff like that, and on the Universal we have a Universal account that we take them from, and they're all there. And they have different versions of the instrumentals. Like there's a minute one, there's a 30-second one, like made for radio, and they get money from that. Yeah, absolutely. And if we approach it that way with all our music, then you're really like squeezing every possible penny out of that music that you can, as opposed to just kind of throwing your song against the wall and hoping that 1 million people are going to like it and you're going to blow up and you'll finally make enough money to pay back, the expenses that you had to get that far. But if they go about it this way, the likelihood is that you're going to have that royalty check every quarter coming in, and you're like, oh wow, there's money in it. And then you start feeling like a real musician, like you're a professional now, because you're actually making money. Well, like a lot of most studios don't even talk about that side of it. They just talk about the creating side, which is fine, but I think the business side is as important, if not more.
Yeah, and studios are missing out too if they're not talking. To me, that just means that they're missing out as well. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a steady stream of musicians and catalog coming through that's all original, that they could be, just by giving them the knowledge, they could be getting a piece of the pie.
Oh yeah.
you know. So yeah, that's where Area 67 is kind of the direction we're going. You know, we see some holes, and we've got the time to fill some of those holes. So why not try to monetize that knowledge a little bit?
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike, for coming on today. This was a good old picnic.
Barn burner.
This is a barn burner. This is a barbecue steak burger, like.
Wow, barbecue steak burger. That sounds barbecue steak burger.
Barbecue steak burger.
I'm down. Is this how you close your show from now on? Until next time.
Until next time.
Well, I appreciate you having me on your show, Mr. Squires.
Yeah, no problem. This is great.
Don't be a stranger just because you're out lost in the mountains.
I'll be a stoner.
That's probably why you're lost in the mountains. You got too high.
All links will be in the description below. Yeah, down below, down there,
Right there. See, right there.